So other than a strap, I don't think we'll need anything. Grab a blocks if you're used to having them or you feel more comfortable using any other props, and grab what you need. We'll start lying down on your back as they come to the floor, with the feet just about as wide as your mat is, and let the knees drop into rest on each other, wherever that comfort kind of resting place it feels for you. Placing the hands onto the lower belly. Just try to keep the shoulders down your back. Softly closing your eyes, or let the focus points rest to a spot at the ceiling. Breathing through the nose. And as each breath you take, just try to guide it further down towards the hands. Putting a little bit more emphasis onto the exhalation. So you start to feel that core just gently warming up, or just gently aligning with the breath. See if you can tune in with the sensation of your pelvic floor, particularly at the real squeeze out of the exhale, squeezing out every last drop of breath, starting to feel that pelvic floor engage to help you squeeze it out. So from here, should you take a big breath in as you reach the arms and the hands up towards the ceiling, just circling the wrists around and stretch through the hands. Then leave the palms facing into each other and reach up through the fingertips as high as you can. So just with your right hand, imagine you're screwing a light bulb into the ceiling. So spin the hand around one way and then spin the hand around the other way. Rather than just the hand and the wrist moving, see if you can move the elbow with that spiraling and the shoulder with that spiraling. So we're rooting right into the rotator cuff of the shoulder blade, spiral through to the fingertips. Couple more circles, one way to the other. And then leave that palm facing the other palm and switch sides. So just the left hand screws in the light bulb and then unscrew it. So start the movement from the fingertips, then roll it through to move the elbow and move it through to move the shoulder and your shoulder blade. And then leaving palm facing the palm. Open the arms out to the sides of you along the floor. So just take a twist. So lift the knees up apart from each other, and then just rocking the knees from one side to the other side, just windscreen microing your legs. Dropping both knees down to the right and just stacking then that left knee on top of the right one. Bring yourself into a soft feeling of a twist. If you want to use your right hand to rest onto the upper thigh, then use the hands to help you. Try and keep the shoulders rooted and the breastbone facing up to the ceiling. Maybe the head turns towards that left hand if the neck feels okay to do so. Taking a nice long breath in. And a full breath out. Gently bringing the knees back up through center, and then just switching sides of that twist. So allow both knees to drop down to the left, the right knee stacking on top, and maybe the left hand rests on top of the legs, keeping that right shoulder rooted and the breath flushing through the body. Taking a big breath in and a full breath out. Bring the knees back up to the center. Keep the feet on the floor, knees facing the ceiling. So this time you want your heels to be in hips distance apart. So kind of just directly in front of the sit bones and toes facing forwards. So feet parallel. Going to reach the arms up towards the ceiling, interlace the fingers together and place your head into the hands. Lift the elbows to face the ceiling, but keep the head grounded, or the hands grounded. And just try to have a sense of these shoulder blades coming around the sides of the ribs. So if you think about your elbows reaching up towards the ceiling, you'll feel that little lift up of the armpits. So try and keep that connection there. Take a big breath into the belly. As you exhale, pull the belly down so you feel your back press into the mat, and just press into the feet a little bit to help you push the back into the ground. Inhale again, and the belly expand as the breath comes in. Exhale, pull the belly down, pressing into the feet, and this time lift the elbows up so the head lifts away from the floor. Maybe the top of the shoulders lift. Keep pulling belly down. Inhale, bring the head to the floor. Exhale, pull belly down as you lift the head and the elbows reaching up. The armpits lifting to ceiling. Press into the feet to push the belly down. Inhale, bring the head to the floor. Exhale, belly down, lifting head, shoulders and elbows up, reaching elbows high as you can as you pull the belly down. Inhale, head to the floor. Exhale, scooping head and shoulders up. Bring the head back to the floor again, taking a big breath in. Let the elbows just flop out to the side so they're comfortable. Take a big breath in where you are. This time all your exhale does is pick up the right leg to 90 degrees. Think pulling the belly down still, like you're trying to curl the pubic bone towards the navel. Inhale, bring the foot to the floor. As you exhale, pick up the left leg just to 90 degrees, pulling the belly down like you're curling pubic bone towards the navel. Inhale, feet to the floor. Exhale, pick up the right leg again. Pull the belly down. Holding there. Bring your right hand just to rest to that thigh. Stay where you are. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press that hand and the leg together as you pull the belly down again. So taking 2 more breaths here. So inhale, let the tension relax, the belly expand. Exhale, press hand and leg together as you pull the belly down. Inhale to soften the tension, belly expands. Exhale, press them together, pull the belly down. Take the foot to the floor, take the right hand back, inhale into the belly. Exhale, pick up the left leg, pull the belly down. So keep that leg where it is, knee above the hip. The left palm is going to rest onto the thigh. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, press the hand into the leg as you pull the belly down. Take a big breath in, relax the tension, breathe into belly. Exhale, press them together, pull the belly down, pull your back to the floor. Once more, inhale. Exhale, press them together as you pull the belly down. Inhale, take the foot to the floor. Interlacing the hands together behind the back of the head. We're going to bring both legs up to 90 degrees this time, stacking the hips above the knees. Slight bit of flexion through the feet or fronting them so you can push out through the balls of the feet. Keep the knees apart from each other and see if you can keep that lower back on the ground. This might feel strong enough just to maintain that connection of back to floor without lifting the head and shoulders up with these next few breaths. So if you want to just stay grounded with the head and just breathe, that works fine too. To up level, we're going to move. So take a big breath in. As you exhale, lift the elbows, scoop up the head, the armpits lifting to the ceiling as you bring the head up. Keep space between chin and chest. Inhale, drop the head to the floor. Exhale, belly pulls down as the elbows lift up. Keep that tailbone trying to tuck, pubic bone to navel. Inhale, head lightly to the floor. Exhale, reaching elbows high, armpits lifting, belly pulling down. Inhale, head to floor. Exhale, elbows reaching high, belly pulling down. Take the head back to the floor again. Keep the elbows facing the ceiling, but head is resting down. Lift the toes up a little bit straighter, so the legs don't have to go fully straight unless they can. Then fully straighten the legs and flex the feet. So keep the head grounded this time. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, reach your right heel forwards and down towards the floor. Take it as low as you like, but your back stays flat to the ground. Big breath in, lift that leg all the way back up again. As you exhale, take your left heel forwards and down towards the ground. Inhale, pick it back up again. We're going to do 2 more either side. Exhale, right leg lowers. Keep that left heel reaching up. Inhale, pick it up. Left leg lowers, belly pulling down. Inhale, pick it up. Last round, right leg lowers. Keep the left heel reaching high. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, left heel lowers. Inhale, pick it up. Bend the knees into your chest. Release the hands away from underneath your head and take the hands around the shins so that you squeeze the legs into the body. Take a gentle rock side to side. Bring your feet to the floor again into hips distance. We're going to come into a bridge pose to strengthen around the back line of the body. Arms resting to the sides. Take a big breath into your belly again, like we did in the abdominals. As you exhale, pull the belly down. This time curl the tailbone off the floor, and then lifting the hips, lift the back, lift the thighs. Good. Press into the feet. Let the crown of the head slide back behind you. Keep pushing through the heels and through your big toes so the feet stay rooted to the floor. The arches of your feet feel a little bit active. Keep the feeling of trying to tuck the tailbone, so reaching that lengthening of the lower back. And imagine you're holding that ball between the knees so the knees don't flare open. As you inhale, lift the hands up towards the ceiling and all the way back behind you. As you exhale, keep the arms reaching back, but rolling the spine into the floor. Think about your pelvis coming closer to the feet as you come to the ground. Bring the arms back down to the sides of the body when you're grounded. Taking that bridge pose again. So starting with a big breath in. As you exhale, roll the hips up, the thighs lift, the belly lifts. Pausing there at the top. Squeezing through the glutes, holding onto that imaginary football between your knees. Next inhale, flip the arms up to the ceiling and back behind your head. So the back of the hands find the ground. Take a big breath in where you are. As you exhale, just roll the spine to the ground. Keep the fingertips reaching back. Your tailbone is the last point to touch the ground. When you are grounded, bring your right thigh only in towards your body. The hands come around that shin. Send the left leg away from you, so kicking out through that left heel. This right thigh pulling in nice and close towards you. Roll the right foot around a few times one way, as big as you can with the movement. Few times the other way. And then take the foot to the floor, so the knee is facing the ceiling. Then let the knee drop out towards the right as though you're coming into a restorative tree pose. Reach the arms to the ceiling, taking hold of alternate forearms and bring the arms back behind your head. So you're framing your head with your arms. If that feels a little bit tight for the shoulders, then feel free to open the arms a little bit wider. Each time you exhale, allow your body to feel a little bit floppier or a little bit heavier into the ground. So just a really gentle opening around that right hip. See if you can direct the breath into the lowest part of the abdominals. So we're gently stretching a little bit deeper into the opening of that right hip. Slide the arms around to the sides of you so they're along the floor in line with the shoulders. Take a breath in. As you exhale, draw the belly down and lift that knee up to face the ceiling again. From here, use your left hand to bring that knee all the way across into a twist. So the knee comes over towards the left. You can keep that right foot resting onto the underneath thigh, or allow the big toe to find the floor, wherever feels most comfortable with your back with this twist. Don't worry if that knee is nowhere near the ground, your spine is still twisting. Keeping that right shoulder staying rooted to the floor if we can. And again, maybe the head turns towards that right hand if it feels okay with the neck. Feel the sensation of your breath coming into the abdominals, the sides, and the back of the body. Gently on your exhale, bring the knee back up to the ceiling, foot to the floor. Scooping the left leg in towards your body with the hands coming around that shin. And then lengthen the right leg away from you. So a couple of deeper breaths, getting this thigh anchoring in towards you. Then circling the foot around a few times one way, nice and big with the movement. And then circling the other way. And then taking that foot to the floor. Let the knee open out to the left, so you drop into that tree pose on the ground. Arms again coming up behind your head, so holding onto elbows or alternate forearms. Take a really deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow the body to completely drop into the floor. Feel the breath coming in deep and wide into the torso. Slide the arms around to the sides of you. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, draw the belly down, the knee up to the ceiling. And then using your right hand, continue that knee to come all the way across to the right into a twist. So allow the pelvis to roll. The big toe can either stay connected to the leg or come off the leg to the floor. Try and keep that left shoulder rooted. So it doesn't matter how far the knee comes over. Try and keep the shoulders rooted if you can. Turning the head towards the left, if that's okay with the neck. And then moving that breath into the belly, the sides and the back of the torso. Staying where you are, take a breath in. As you exhale, bring that knee back into the center and take the foot to the floor. Slide that right leg in, so both feet to the ground again. Arms resting out to the side of the body. Allow the soles of the feet to come together and the knees drop out to the sides, so more into the Baddha Konasana of the legs. Keep the knees gently rocking one side to the other, so you get the opening going through the groin, but without too much strain coming into the hips. Allowing that gentle arch of your lower back to feel light. And then just bring your hands onto the upper side of your thighs, so where your sort of hip bones are, the creases of your hips, like you're holding your hips. Press the hands into the legs so you feel your body reach further away from the pelvis, as though you're trying to disconnect your pelvis away from your body. So imagine you're using that same motion of as though you're lifting yourself out of a swimming pool. Try and lift yourself out of your pelvis so your body reaches back and the hips pressing away from you. Take a couple of breaths big and wide into the torso. And then just relaxing into that. Scoop the hands underneath your thighs. So then you use their hands to help you bring the legs back in towards each other again. Bring the legs in towards your body, hands around the shins, coming nice and close to that squeeze in, rocking gently side to side on your spine. And then either roll yourself to one side or take a rock and roll through to seated. Bring yourself up to any comfortable seat. Pop yourself on a cushion or onto blocks or something. If we can, come into cross-legged and let the hands just rest out to the sides of the body. Give your shoulders a lift up towards your ears, big breath in, and as you exhale, roll the shoulders back. And again, deep breath in as you lift. Exhale, roll the shoulders back, just let the fingertips find the floor, find that nice tall height through the body. Dropping your left ear towards the left shoulder, feeling the lengthening down the side of the right side of your neck, sorry. Allow that right hand to come out to the side, so just float it up to about shoulder height. And then like we did with the light bulb screwing in and out, so maybe you're turning a doorknob or whatever you want to be spinning with that hand, I suppose, turning your hand all the way around one way, and then all the way around the other way. So like we did when we were lying down, trying to get the movement to roll through the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and the shoulder blade. So as much rotation through the whole of that arm as you can feel. Good. A couple more times. Then keep the palm facing up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in, lift the arm up. And as you exhale, lean across towards the left. So your fingertips are reaching out towards the wall at the side of you. Keep the head dropping down towards underneath shoulder and try to find a way that the shoulders can come away from your ears. So maybe that underneath arm goes further away, or you just plug that top shoulder in a little bit further. Try to lean your back a little as though you're resting your spine against a wall. So just notice if you're rolling forwards or slumping into the lower back. Flatten out the back. And bring this floating hand down towards your left knee. Use that to press yourself up to seated and slide that left hand around behind your back. Good. Press into the hand behind you so you lift tall through your spine. Then exhale to pull into that left knee gently, so the shoulders spiral round, the ribs spiral round, keeping the hip bones facing the front. So think your hips turning in the opposite direction to your shoulders. Soften into the neck if you can, so just keep the chin more in line with the center of the chest, so you're not using the muscles of the neck to try and pull you round into the twist. Feel your breath move into the back of your rib cage. And slowly soften yourself back to the center. Switch the cross of your legs if you have them crossed. If you're kind of central where you are, then stay central. Good, taking that to the other side. So let your right ear drop towards the right shoulder. And then just floating that left hand up in line with the shoulder. Turning your doorknob, or whatever you want to turn. Spiraling from the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and the shoulder blade. Maybe noticing maybe one side has a bit of crunch and crackle, or maybe both sides. So next time the palm is facing the ceiling, holding there, lift the hand all the way up, and as you exhale, take it over into that side stretch. So again, try to find a point with the arms so the shoulders are not listening to, not around the ears. Finding that space and length in that side body. Taking a big breath in. As you exhale, let this left hand come to the right knee. Pressing into it so it straightens you up, and then bring the right hand behind your back. Take a really big breath in, grow tall. Then as you exhale, gently using that knee to help guide the shoulders round into the twist. Pulling belly to spine. So the rib cage is spiraling like it's telescoping around the spine. Keeping your hips turning in the opposite direction to the shoulders to keep them square. Again, just check that maybe you can soften into your neck a little. And can you consciously pull your breath into the back of your rib cage? Slowly bring your spine back center. Good. Rolling over, find your way to an all fours position, whichever way feels good to go. Spread the fingers open into the floor. Then just circling your shoulders around in the clockwise or anti-clockwise circular motion going around the hands, acknowledging each fingertip with your weight coming through, all of the finger knuckles, maybe noticing any sensitive areas of the shoulders or the wrists as you roll through them. Changing the direction if you haven't already. And then holding shoulders over wrists, take an inhale into that cow posture of your cat-cow, so tailbone up and the chest lifting. And then as you exhale, belly draws the spine first to initiate the movement, you rounding through the other way, pushing into the floor. Inhale, your tailbone lifts and the chest lifts up. As you exhale, rounding through the other way, exaggerate the movements as big as your back feels comfortable to move. Allow on your inhales as the nose lifts as well. Take it as far as your neck feels comfortable, so maybe you feel a little stretch through the throat. Last couple of rounds. And then holding the spine back center in a more neutral feeling. Slide the right leg back behind you to the back of the mat and then push into the heel of that foot so your calf gets a little stretch out there as well. Stay broad through shoulder blades and that gentle drawing into the abdominal so we're not back bending into it. From here, turn out your left shin so the toes just come to the outside of the mat. Drop the back heel and then right arm lift up to the ceiling. Circling this arm around a few times either way. And then changing your circle around the other direction. And then leave the fingertips reaching high to the ceiling so the shoulders are stacked, the hips are stacked. Keep the hip bones pressing forwards and the tailbone tucking. So activate the buttocks slightly so we're not back bending into it. Allow the head to hang heavy towards underneath shoulder. And if you want to bring in that neck release or chest release, then bring the arm, your top arm, just to drop back behind you. So just allow the arm to isolate with that dropping back. This isn't in your lower spine. So we don't come into a back bend, the spine stays straight, just the arm falls back behind you and let the head hang down. Take a really big breath in. As you exhale, bring that right hand all the way down to the mat. Square yourself up back into all fours again. You can give the roll out of the left wrist a little if we need to. Then switching sides, so left leg is going to reach back, push into the heel of that foot, and a little gentle stretch through your calf muscle. From here, turn out the right shin. Drop the back heel and left arm lifting up to the ceiling. Circling this arm either direction, big generous circles with this shoulder. Changing the direction. Good, and the next time fingertips are reaching high, holding there. Let the head hang heavy. Keep the hips pressing forward, so buttocks are slightly active to keep any back bend from coming into the spine. And then if you want to, you just let your top arm drop back behind you. So you feel the shoulder blades squeeze and the chest feel open. Allow the head to feel heavy, so neck is soft. And feel the breath moving into your chest space. Bring the arm overhead and back to the floor. Take the knees to the ground, wider than your body, folding back into a child's pose. And then just turn the palms either to face into each other, or if you can, facing up to the ceiling. Head resting to the floor if we can. And allow the weight of your head to really drop down so that it relaxes your neck and shoulders. Turn the palms back to the floor again. Come up into all fours, tuck the toes, and come into a soft downward facing dog. So we keep a bend into the knees, gently paddling through the feet, move slow through that paddling. So you consciously try and stretch out through the front of one ankle, the back of the other ankle, and then you switch, stretching through the toes, acknowledge any differences, maybe one side to the other. Next time you have a bend into your right knee, holding there, really try to press that left heel towards the floor as you simultaneously lift the tailbone further up towards the ceiling, pressing the ground away. Take a really big breath in. As you exhale, switch the legs, so deep bend in the left knee, push the right heel towards the floor and keep the tailbone and sit bones reaching high towards the ceiling. Take a really big breath in. Exhale, bring a soft bend into both knees and then roll forwards into a plank position. Lengthen yourself out a little bit if you need to. So the pelvis inlet is in line with your rib cage and pressing back lightly into the heels. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the knees to the ground, your hips to the floor and roll the body into the ground. Slowly with control, the elbows hug into the body as you come down. Good. Take your feet open as wide as the mat is, and the shoelace bit of your feet pressing into the floor. Arms just slide forward slightly, so the forearms are on the ground. From there, lift the chest as though you're coming through cobra. So lifting up onto the forearms, the elbows, and then maybe if you want to take it a little bit deeper, be mindful if maybe still not quite warm yet, push into the hands, maybe the elbows lift a little as well. With the feet a bit wider, it'll be more gentle for the spine. Keep the shoulders coming down your back. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, drawing forwards and back down to the floor, just bowing the forehead to the ground between your hands. And come up again, so lifting as you inhale, pushing through the arms. If it feels okay and you want to take it a little bit deeper, push through the hands so the elbows float up as well, so the arms straighten. A gentle lifting of the nose. Take a breath in, feel the stretch through the throat. Exhale, roll the body back to the ground in the reverse that you came. And just taking one more, so your forehead taps the ground. And then inhale, lift the nose, pressing down through the feet, keep them anchored. Pull the belly in as you lengthen the arms, lifting the nose. Exhale, rolling back to the floor. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders, elbows are winging up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Exhale to push into the hands. Keep the knees where they are, bring the big toes into touch. And then folding back into your child's pose. So push up through all fours, keep knees wide, toes touching. So then hips back to heels. Walk both hands over to the right side of your mat. So the left hand is pressing on top of the right one. Interlace the left fingers into the right hand. So you're kind of holding on to your right hand. And then use that clasp to pull away from. So you're really trying to sit down towards your left heel. Feeling that opening around the left side of the torso. Head is just heavy between that hoop of the arms. And as you breathe, really feel the breath expanding into the left side of the ribs. Getting into those lats, your obliques, and all those intercostals that wrap around the rib cage. Walking the hands over to the left side of your mat. This time the right hand is going to be holding on to the left one to interlace those fingers. And then try to pull the hips back to sit towards your right heel. You really extend the line through the right side of the body. Expanding the breath deep and wide into that right side of your rib cage. And gently bringing the hands back into the center. Come up to an all fours position once again. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog, lifting the hips up. Really try to find that lengthening and lifting of the pelvis so your spine lengthens. From here, start to walk the feet towards your hands, or bring the hands towards your feet if that's a little bit more comfortable. Feet are hips distance, soft bend into the knees. Allow the arms to either dangle or you can hold onto the elbows. Just finding a place where you can let your head hang into it. So don't worry about how low down you are. Try to feel the release of the upper body. Yeah, gentle swaying or rocking into it if that helps you just dangle a little bit easier. And then if they aren't already, let the arms flop down. Take a big breath in where you are. Using your exhale, keep a soft bend in the knees, slowly rolling up to standing. Keep your chin towards the chest until the rest of your spine is straight. And then roll the shoulders down your back. Good. Grab hold of your strap if you have it. Don't worry if you don't have one. You can take the strap into your right hand. We'll just start from standing for a little shoulder and arm stretch. So keep the feet hips distance apart. Try and spread the toes open into the floor. Little micro bend into the knees. So we're not locking back into the legs. You're going to lift your right arm towards the ceiling and then bend at the elbow so you drop the strap down your back. Use your left hand to start with to come up and over to hold on to that elbow point. And use your left hand to encourage that arm further down your back. So you might be able to rest your head into that right forearm so you feel the lengthening at the back of the neck and a little bit of lift taller through the posture. Hopefully feeling a stretch down the back of your right arm. Don't worry if you're not feeling it too strong at the moment. Just check that each time you're exhaling, you're still pulling the belly in. So it's really tempting as soon as we take the arms overhead for us to sit into a bit more of a back bend to help us. Keep the spine really straight and strong. From here, take your left arm to wrap around and grab hold of the strap behind your back. If we can, walk the hand up so your hands come as close as they can to each other. Some of you may not need the strap and you can interlace the fingers. Or keep hold of the strap wherever you have it. Pulling into the strap, so it's tense between the two. If you're working without a strap, just press the hands into your back wherever they come to you, works fine too. You're still getting the rotation. So the one elbow pointing directly to ceiling, one elbow pulling to the floor. Keep the neck straight, the head resting lightly into your arm. Take a last big breath in. As you exhale, gently release the arms. Keep the strap in that hand for now. You're going to sweep this right arm across your chest. So girls go kind of above boobs. Your left arm, so the fold of that elbow is going to hug the forearm closer in. So go further towards your wrist than towards your elbow, because we're not pressing into that elbow joint. Good, so squeeze this forearm as close as you can in towards your body. And then think pressing that right shoulder down, just away from the ears. Drop your head towards the hands. So hopefully, maybe feeling a stretch around the belly of this right shoulder. Again, don't worry if you're not quite feeling it, you're still lengthening the muscle. Take a really big breath in. And as you exhale, relax the arms down. Give the shoulders a little roll out. And then pass the strap to the left hand. Just lasso this strap gently all the way around behind your back. So drop the arm, elbows pointing up. Just take your right hand to lift up and find the point of the elbow to try and encourage it further back. Rest your head into the forearm behind you if it's there to meet it. And use that head to arm connection to feel lengthening through the back of your neck. Pull in the lower ribs, take out any feeling of back bend from it. Micro bending the knees can help you there as well. Maybe feeling that stretch down the back of this left arm. From here, sweep the right arm around behind you, grab the strap and walk the hands towards each other slightly. Again, you can either interlace the fingers or press the hands into your back or keep pulling into the strap. Maybe noticing differences one side to the other. Often if we're right-handed or left-handed or work a lot with one side, It can feel quite different. Taking a really big breath in. As you exhale, gently release it. Keep the strap with the left hand for now. You're going to sweep that left arm across the chest and then use your right arm to pull the forearm in towards you. So again, just check we're not pressing into the joint. Keep forearm to forearm. Press them together slightly and then press your left shoulder down away from the ear. You're going as long as you can through that outstretched left arm. Drop your head towards the hands. Keep the shoulder pressing down, that's it. Again, working to some of those little micro movements through the body can help you find the stretch. We're aiming to find it through the belly of your shoulder into your delt. If you're not feeling it, don't worry, you'll still be lengthening the shoulder. Take a breath in. As you exhale, gently release the arms down, bring the head back center. You can pop your strap down to one side. Give the shoulders a little roll down your back, and then come to the top edge of your mat. Feet staying hips distance apart, so that's about one of your feet between your feet, remember, so not too wide. Nice and tall through the body, fingertips reaching towards your feet, and palms facing forwards, so that you create a little bit of opening around the chest and pride through the posture. As you inhale, bring the arms out to the sides and up to the ceiling, maybe the palms meet above the head, maybe the gaze lifts to the thumbs. As you exhale, draw that circle with the arms again as you come all the way through to a forward fold. Allow the hands to come to the shins and press your chest forwards. You straighten the spine to your halfway lift. As you exhale, soften over the legs, hands to the floor, step the right leg back behind you and place that back knee to the ground. So coming into a shorter lunge, so in more of a 90-degree angle with both legs. Bring the hands to the front thigh and lift the torso up. So try to stack your shoulder above the hip, above the knee. So really bring the body upright. Think pulling belly to spine so you create that tucking of the tailbone. So if you had a tail, it would scoop through towards your front foot. Press the back foot into the floor. Switch on the right glute, so right buttock feels active. Then press the front of your right hip forwards slightly. So sit towards that front heel. Imagine you are trying to pull your front heel and back thigh towards each other. So creating a little bit of activation, back leg and front heel pulling in. So it should feel like the muscles are kind of actively stretching. If we can, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. So now your right wrist, shoulder, hip, and knee are stacked one on top of the other. Keep leaning your back as though you're flat against a wall. So bring the shoulders back. Take a really big breath in. As you exhale, bring the back of your right hand that's in the air to the outer side of your front leg. So this time lift the left hand up to the ceiling. Press the back of that hand and the leg together so your shoulders turn towards the left side of your mat, and you can reach that left arm then round behind you. So opening the chest and shoulders towards that left long side of the mat. Keep the resistance between the hand and the leg that are connected. Spine is still straight, so we're not leaning forwards or backwards. Breathing into the belly so the rib cage is doing the spiraling. Take a big breath in where you are. As you exhale, soften the shoulders center, bring the hands to the floor, either side of your front foot. Stepping it back into your plank position, so come through all fours first if it's more comfortable, and then lift the knees up. Taking a really big breath in. As you exhale, bring the knees to the floor, the hips to the ground, and let the spine roll into the mat. Coming into Cobra again, maybe feet stay parallel. If it's more comfortable for the back, take them wider as we did earlier. Pressing into hands, lifting chest. You can take the hands bent forwards if that's more comfortable. Exhale, bring the body back to the floor. Keeping the hands under shoulders, elbows are winging up. Stay here for a big breath in. As you exhale, push into the hands, come up to all fours. Fold back to child's pose, hips to heels. Big toes touching at child's pose. Knees can be wide, but toes together. Take a really big breath in. And a really deep breath out. Come forwards into your all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into downward facing dog. Soft bend in the knees, so we get that lift and lengthening of the spine. Really push into the hands, your shoulders squeeze back towards the legs. And then begin to walk the feet towards your hands or the hands towards your feet. Come into forward fold. Stay in the fold, take a really big breath in. The exhale rolls you up to standing. Keep the chin tucking in until the rest of the spine is straight. Roll the shoulders down your back. Make sure you're at the top of your mat and the feet hips distance. NamaSTE, so the palms are forwards, tall through the posture. As you inhale, arms out to the sides, pressing palms together above your head, lift the gaze. Exhale, circle the arms wide and down towards the feet. Halfway lift as you inhale, reach the breastbone forwards. Exhale, soften into the legs, step the left leg back, place the knee down to the floor. So finding that more square lunge again, so slightly shorter. Bring the hands to your front thigh as you lift up. And again, imagine you're resting your back against a wall. So let it be nice and straight. Crown of the head stacked above that underneath knee. Scoop the belly in, tucking the tailbone. Then sink the hips slightly forwards towards front heel. You feel the stretch around the front of your left hip. Switch on that activation, so try and drag without moving your front heel and back thigh towards each other. You're really pulling the bones of your left thigh forwards towards the top of your mat. If it's feeling okay to, then lift the left arm up as well, so that you have wrist, shoulder, hip and knee stacked one on top of the other. Keep that spine really straight, tailbone to crown. Make sure you're breathing and stay actively pulling back thigh forwards, front heel back. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, the back of this left hand is coming to the outer side of your front leg. Lift the right arm up to the ceiling. Keep shoulders square to start with. Take a big breath in. Then exhale, press the hand and the leg together. So this right arm circles back to reach towards the wall behind you. Good. Use that connection of hand to leg to keep the shoulders spiraling and keep that spine really straight. So no back bending through that lower spine. It's just the rib cage can then spiral through that straight pole of your spine. Take a breath in where you are. As you exhale, gently bring the hands down to the floor either side of your front foot. Good. Holding that. From here, we're coming into plank position again. So you can slide the leg back into all fours first and come into plank. Good. Holding for about 5 breaths in plank. So bring the knees down if you want to. Push through the hands so shoulder blades abroad. Press back into the heels. Think slightly tucking the tailbone. So pull up the lower belly. Good. That's it. And more space through shoulder blades. Push through the arms. Take one more breath. As you next exhale, go bring the knees to the ground and the body to the floor. Maybe the chest comes down before the hips do. Keep the hands where they are, so elbows stay winging up. Just reach the toes away and take your cobra from here. So lifting the breastbone forwards. Doesn't matter if you don't come too high. Hold that lift of the chest. Squeeze the arms in towards your body and see if your hands can then float just to hover above the ground. You're not holding, that's it. So just where your back muscles can hold you in that lift. Keep the feet pressing into the floor. Activate the buttocks so the front of your pelvis is pushing into the mat. Take a big breath in and exhale, soften to the floor. Stay where you are, take another breath in. Exhale, belly to spine, push up to all fours. One whole piece. That's it, and then folding back into child's pose. Take a really big breath in and a full breath out. Roll up into more of a kneeling position, then just drop the hips over to one side of your feet and sweep the legs around in front of you. Find yourself in the middle of the mat with legs out straight. Again, you can pop yourself onto a cushion or your blocks. And if you want to stretch with the strap, then grab hold of your strap again if you wish to. We don't need it on this time, but if you prefer to, then feel free. So we're going to bend up the right knee, so bringing that heel nice and close towards the glutes. Let the knee drop open to the side, a bit like we did on the ground to start with. So the sole of that foot comes into the left thigh. Any tricky knees, you can pad that knee up with a cushion or support it with the hand if you wish to. Keep the left leg flexed, so the toes are curling up towards you. Fingertips to floor. Take a big breath in, lift tall. As you exhale, lean the weight forwards. Keep the spine straight, so it doesn't matter how far you come. It might be enough just to hold this posture upright, which is doing work for your spine strengthening anyway, so you're good wherever you come to. Avoid the feeling of trying to pull forwards with your head or your hands. Just let the body come where it wants to. Allow the weight of your body and the softening of your breath to bring you maybe a little deeper into that stretch. If it helps you bring a little bit of anchoring, then use the hands to tuck underneath that left calf muscle. So you can just help reel the body forwards a little bit further. Try to really relax your back into it. Take a couple more deep breaths. Gently rolling up through the spine. Lift this right knee back up to the ceiling again. We're going to step the foot over the thigh. Toes facing forwards, that's it. Keep that right sit bone anchored to the floor, so quite tempting for that to roll up. Try and sit it down. Your left arm is going to reach forwards, and then hug the knee into the fold of that elbow. Take the right hand behind you, and this hand keeps you tall. So push into those back fingertips to lift up straight. And as you exhale, hug yourself into this front knee. So the shoulders try to spin into the twist again. Make sure the foot that you've crossed over is flat to the ground. The sit bones stay grounded. Good, and allow the head maybe now to turn towards the back shoulder. If you want to take this twist a little bit deeper, you can lift that left arm up and bring the elbow to the outer side of the thigh. If that feels like it restricts the breath or feels too tight into the back, then keep it in the softer variation. Good, take one more big breath in. As you exhale, turn the shoulders back to face the front. Okay, so hands are going to rest behind your body. Keep the legs kind of as they are. You're going to scoop up the straight leg so that it picks up the ankle. Yeah, good. Hands turn, so the fingers face towards the back of the mat. So you can lean into the arms. And then use the hands to push into, so your chest straightens up towards that front shin. You can use this front foot to come in a little bit tighter, so you close yourself in a bit closer towards it. Maybe getting a feeling of stretching through this right glutes. Just opening the hip either way, that's it, good. Lightly flex that right foot, just to keep the knee aligned. So not the knee to knee, try and keep the ankle bone towards that thigh. So open it out a bit more, Julie. That's it, bring your knee towards me, that's it, good, yeah. So you're in that figure of four stretch. Good, lift the chest up towards that shin. Good, and think that right knee pressing away from you. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, just round the back slightly, slide that left leg away from you and untangle the legs. Good. Let's rock the feet in and out a couple of times. That's it. And then switching sides. So nice and tall through your back. You're going to bend the left knee, so the heel tucks in towards the body, and then let the knee drop out to the side. Tuck that heel nice and close towards the groin, sole of the foot is against the right leg. Fingertips to the floor, lift up tall. Again, might be enough just to hold this upright position. It's still quite a strong angle your leg to spine if they're both straight. Flex that front foot. Perfect. So training as well, this toes to stay facing up to the ceiling. Depending on our hip tightness or inner thigh tightness, it's going to want to turn the leg in or out. So training it parallel. And then if there's room to, if you want to, then begin to find a little bit of fold. Allowing the weight of your breath and the weight of your body and the depth of your breath to bring you over. Again, if the hands want to tuck underneath that calf muscle, just to give you a little bit of anchoring into it, then take that. And wherever you are, just find a deeper feeling of the breath. Enjoy where you're at. Find softness through your spine. Giving a big breath in. And slowly rolling up. Lift the knee towards the ceiling and then hop the foot over to the outer side of your right leg, foot flat to the ground. So this time your right arm is reaching forwards and then scoop the knee into the fold of that elbow. The left arm behind you. Take a big breath in, grow tall. And exhale, turning the shoulders in towards that leg, towards the left. Again, thinking about that whole line of your spine so the rib cage can spiral around it. Allow the head, if the neck feels okay, to look over that left shoulder. Keeping that grounded right leg flexed and active. Take a big breath in where you are. Exhale, softens the shoulders back center again. So hands behind you. We find that scooping up into the seated figure of four. So bend the right knee and scoop that leg in with you. Just adjust the leg, so make sure the ankle is more to that thigh rather than the knee. So you get that nice opening through the hip. Flex the foot. Walk the hands in a little bit closer so your chest can lift tall. And then if there's still room to deepen, then tuck that right foot in closer towards you. So you close into the pose. Lever yourself in. Nice deep breath. Deep breath in. As you exhale, soften the spine, soften into your arms and lengthen the legs away. Untangle them out straight again. Good. Take the feet a little bit wider. Just prop yourself up straight. So use the hands to support you if you want to. Just turn the feet in and out a couple of times. So like we did with the hands, try and get that movement to not just come through the toes, but through your knees and through your hips as well. It's getting as much kind of turning through the pelvis. And then let the legs just flop wherever they want to come to, and bring yourself down onto your back. Find a full body stretch out, so arms lengthen back behind you, point the toes away. Take a really deep breath before you yawn, have a good stretch into the space of your body. Keep the hips having a little bit of a wriggle while the legs still turning in and out a couple of times. And then bring the arms to your sides. Find a place that you feel comfortable to rest, just for a few deeper breaths. You're welcome to keep the knees bent, feet to the floor if that's more comfortable. Try to close the eyes. On your next exhale, allow the weight of your pelvis to feel really heavy into the floor. So the hips soften, the legs feel floppy. Releasing any holding away from your back or your abdomen. The shoulders feel heavy, so the arms feel floppy. The neck to feel soft. Allow the jaw hinge to relax. And soften around the skin of the face. Allow your breath to feel effortless and soft, but grounded still into the abdomen. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Bending one knee at a time so that your feet find the floor. Just let your spine reset to the ground. Reach your right arm back behind you and then roll over onto your right side so that that arm acts as a pillow for your head to rest onto. Let the left arm just follow you over to find the floor. Pressing through that left hand to bring yourself up into seated, coming up any way that feels good, to any place that feels comfortable. Allow the hands to rest to the legs or the knees. And finding that beautiful posture through the spine, softness still around shoulders. To invite you to close your practice with one thing that you can feel grateful for today. Recognize something positive about yourself. And recognize how you feel now at the end of a practice compared to how you did at the start. Bring the hands to the heart center. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bow your head to your hands and to your wonderful selves. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a lovely day. Namaste.
Thank you.